Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Football Insiders. Today, I am joined by Matty, Brian, Romell, and Hunter, and we're going to be doing our predictions for the next set of Premier League games over the middle week. So we're going to do it in an order. So we're going to do Tuesday's games, and then the first three on Wednesday, and then the final two and the Tottenham-Liverpool game on Thursday. So I'm going to start off, and the first game is Brighton v Fulham. And I personally think this game's going to end 1-1. I think they're two very entertaining games to watch, in my opinion. Teams, sorry. I think they both play entertaining football. Obviously, Fulham have been really inconsistent this season, and it has put them in a bit of trouble. But it's a massive game for both teams because if Brighton lose, they're right down there, and Fulham, I think, are only like 1 or 2 points off with a game in hand. So it will be a good game. I personally think 1-1 with Maupay and Lookman scoring. We move briefly on to Newcastle Leeds. Now, Newcastle have been awful to watch. Like, honestly, I can't watch any of their games. But Leeds, on the other hand, are very entertaining. I'm going 3-0 Leeds because I don't see Newcastle scoring, to be honest. They're just shit. Sorry for the language, but it has to be said. And that's what I have to say about that one. We're on to Southampton Arsenal now, the rematch of the FA Cup game, which saw Southampton come out 1-0 victors on Saturday. It's a bit different for this game though, because Southampton are missing two key players in Kyle Walker-Peters and Ryan Bertrand. And Arsenal are also without Aubameyang and potentially Kieran Tierney. So I'm going with a 1-1 draw. I don't think it'll be the most entertaining of games because both teams are without key personnel, but I think it will still be close. Hopefully a bit better to watch than the game on Saturday, but we'll see. And the final game for Tuesday is Man City v West Brom. I'm going 3-0 Man City win. I think obviously last time they got a big shock in which was Bilic's last game with a 1-1 draw, but I just don't see City dropping points here. They're in much better form, and that's all I have to say. We're moving on to Brian now with his predictions for the Tuesday games.
Yeah, for Brighton versus Fulham, I decided to go with a 2-1 win for Fulham. I just think Fulham they've been performing well recently. Just think that will pull them through. And Brighton, they've been entertaining to watch. They haven't been clinical, so they may score, but I think Fulham will be too good for them. For the Newcastle Leeds game, I think this is really a foregone conclusion. Newcastle have been absolutely appalling recently. And I just think Leeds, with the football they play, they should win 3-0. For Southampton versus Arsenal, I've decided to go for a 2-1 victory for Arsenal, mainly because Southampton are missing some key players. So I think Arsenal, with that slight advantage, if Kieran Tierney doesn't play, that's going to be a disadvantage. I feel like players like Emil Smith-Rowe, who's in good form right now, guide them to a very narrow victory. And for West Brom versus City, I put 4-0 City. Man City are looking unplayable at this moment. They're just not gonna. They're not gonna. So now on to Hunter for his Tuesday.
Right. So Brighton versus Fulham. I think it's gonna be a 2-1 win for Fulham. I think they have enough in the tank to weather the storm. Newcastle Leeds. Leeds have been brilliant, but although dodgy. So I will say that they will win 3-0. Then we move on to the rematch, Southampton Arsenal. I want to say this will be an end-to-end game with both sides attacking. So I'm going for a 2-2 draw. And for the last game, City West Brom, I think 4-0 City. It's going to be a double from Sterling, I think. But now we move on to Matty.
Right, hello, and for my predictions, I've gone for Brighton Fulham. I have gone for a Fulham 2-1 win on this one. Both, again, as I think Raef said before, both quite entertaining teams to watch. Probably be a good game. I think Fulham was just going to edge it 2-1 though. And for Newcastle Leeds, I put Leeds 2-1. I've got Newcastle to score in this one because I just think the way Leeds attack Newcastle via Callum Wilson, I think they might get a lucky counter attack, but I still think Leeds will quite comfortably win the game. I've got Southampton Arsenal to draw 2-2. Both really good sides at the minute. Well, in form, yeah. Southampton's higher in the table, but I just think that will end up being 2-2. Be quite an entertaining game as well. And I've also got Man City to beat West Brom 4-0. I'm gonna, nothing else about that. We're gonna move straight back to Raef for the first half of Wednesday.
It's Romell, Matty.
It's me. Thank you, Matty, very much. So for my first game, I think Brighton and Fulham, I think it's going to be 1-1, just because Fulham's last few games have been draws. And I just don't think that they can really edge a win away against Brighton, who haven't been playing too bad recently. I think for Newcastle against Leeds, obviously Leeds did beat them 5-2 in the reverse fixture. I think that Leeds are going to win this game 3-1 because Newcastle have been playing really bad, but they're at home. They'll get a goal, but Leeds will win it. For Southampton Arsenal, I do think Arsenal are going to edge it 1-0 just because they're the away side and they rested players in the FA Cup. I think that they're going to bring their first team back in. Southampton played their first team, and I think that fatigue late on might be a factor, and Arsenal might get a late goal. And then for West Brom City, contrary to the rest of them, I only said City 1-0 just because West Brom are a very good defensive side with Big Sam. And I think that City will edge it, but not by much. And to Raef.
Alright, so now we're doing the first 3 games on Wednesday night. So first one up is Burnley Aston Villa. Obviously Burnley coming off a massive win at Anfield. I put down as 1-1 because Aston Villa have been playing very well, but they have been, since all their squad has got COVID, they were looking a bit tired. So I'm going with the 1-1. I think Burnley will get an early goal, but then Aston Villa will eventually get the equaliser. Moving on, Chelsea v Wolves. Of course, a massive decision earlier in the week as Lampard got sacked, with Tuchel coming in. But I think that'll give the squad a little boost. So it's a hard one, but I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea because Wolves haven't been playing great recently. Obviously, they got the 2-1 win coming from behind against Chelsea in the previous fixture. But I think Chelsea, boosted by the fact Tuchel's coming in, will edge out the win. And on to Crystal Palace West Ham now. I'm going with a 1-1 draw. David Moyes has had a very underrated season with West Ham. They were relegation favourites at the beginning, so props to him. And props to Roy Hodgson as well with a very lacklustre Palace side, getting them where they are in the mid-table. And but apparently he's a hard back for this game against West Ham, which I think will be massive for Palace as they rely so heavily on him. As all the things been on Eze recently, which I think is hard to handle for his age. But with a hard back, I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. I think Palace won't win this game. I think I could see West Ham winning. I don't see Palace winning, but I think it will be a 1-1 in the end. So I'm moving on to Brian now with his predictions.
Yeah, for Burnley Aston Villa, I've gone for a 1-1 draw. I just think that Burnley, the confidence from that Liverpool win will probably carry them to a draw. Normally I would have predicted Aston Villa to win, but I just feel like that confidence is true. For Chelsea versus Wolves, I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw. I think that Wolves have not been great this season, especially with that horrible injury to. But players like Pedro Neto and Daniel Podence should probably carry them to a 2-2 draw. And for Crystal Palace versus West Ham, I expect a 2-1 West Ham. I just think West Ham, they've been all right this season. A bit inconsistent at times, but I just don't expect Chris to get a result. I'm being very honest. So yeah, now it's to Hunter with his prediction.
Right, so Burnley did come off with a big upset against Liverpool. So I don't think their purple patch will continue, and I think Aston Villa and Jack Grealish have it enough 2-1. 85th minute winner from Grealish. Then we move on to Chelsea Wolves. Well, Chelsea, they did sack Frank. I think it's going to be a step forward, 2-1. Palace West Ham, tricky one, but I think West Ham have enough. They have been in a brilliant form, and I think 2-1 West Ham. We move on to Matty now.
Right, so my predictions for these three games, I've got Villa to beat Burnley 2-0. I know Burnley's come off a really good result, but I just think Villa's going to have that quality to just edge a 2-0 win and probably keep a clean sheet. Chelsea Wolves, obviously again, Chelsea sacked the manager Lampard. We will be doing a video on that, so stay tuned for that. But I've got a 3-1 Chelsea win. I think the player quality and Wolves have been in bad form as well. And for Palace West Ham, I've got a 2-0 West Ham win. Obviously in a Europa League challenge, I just think West Ham will go up Trump here and have a really good result. So now we're going to go on to Romell's predictions.
Thank you. So I think for me, Burnley against Villa, I do think that Burnley, they'll be very confident and they can hold off Villa for a long time. But I do think Villa are going to win 1-0 just because of the quality that they have and their form that they've been in. I think Chelsea against Wolves, probably a 1-1 draw, just because Chelsea have a new manager and I don't think they've been playing too well recently. I think Wolves will be able to get a goal. I think Chelsea will be able to get a goal. For West Ham against Crystal Palace, I do think Crystal Palace with Eze and Zaha will be able to get a few goals, but I think it will ultimately be 3-2 to West Ham. Been doing really well. Think that they can edge it over Palace. For Everton against Leicester, I do think that will be a 2-2 draw, just because Leicester have been in good form, Everton have been in good form as well. I don't think anyone's going to get the edge over anyone in that game. And for Man United against Sheffield, I think Man United will have a quite comfortable 3-1 win against Sheffield because they've been playing really well. Sheffield, not so well. And we hand over to Raef.
Alright, so you've kind of overhit a bit there, Romell. Only supposed to do the first three. Doesn't matter, we move. Anyway, so Everton, my prediction for Everton Leicester is a 2-1 Everton win because they got Calvert-Lewin back from injury, which will boost their side, and Leicester are without their main man, Jamie Vardy, which I think will massively hinder them. So I'm going 2-1 Everton win. And then United v Sheffield. United on great form recently, pushing for the title, obviously. I'm going a 3-0 United win. Sheffield got their first one a few weeks ago, but then it was just, they got a win in the FA Cup at the weekend as well, which will give them a bit of confidence, but I just don't see them beating United, especially with the form they're on. Then finally, on Thursday night, we've got Tottenham v Liverpool. Liverpool have been in awful form recently. They finally got Salah scoring again at the weekend, which is a small bonus in the defeat to Man United. But for the reason of just Tottenham looking so dangerous on the break with Harry Kane and so on, and Liverpool looking tedious defensively at times, I'm going a 2-1 Tottenham win. Handing over to Brian for his final three predictions.
Yeah, for Everton versus Leicester, I think it's going to be 2-1 Everton. I think James Maddison probably will score for Leicester, or Harvey Barnes. I expect one of them to score for Leicester. I think Everton should probably just edge it out with no Jamie Vardy. We all saw what happened last season with Jamie Vardy. So, yeah. For Manchester United versus Sheffield United, 3-0 Manchester United. Don't expect any upsets here. Expect Bruno Fernandes and the rest to just get the job done. And for Tottenham versus Liverpool, I think it's going to be 2-0 to Tottenham. I think, we're pretty much failing to score in the last Premier League games. I think and how good Tottenham have been defensively at times. I think if Tottenham just hit Liverpool on the break twice and kill the game, then I expect it. And over to Hunter for his prediction.
Right. At Goodison, I think it's a routine 2-0 win for Everton. Richarlison and Dominic Calvert-Lewin getting back to form at scoring against Sheffield Wednesday, so both will score on the night. A routine win for United here. Manchester United 2-0 again. They look unbeatable at the minute. And for the big game of the evening, it's going to be 2-2. It's going to be all square because I think Liverpool will go 2-0 up, but I back Jose enough that he will get a draw in the end. We move on to Matty.
Yes, so for Everton Leicester, I think Everton's going to edge this 2-1. I can see Leicester scoring via like James Maddison or Harvey Barnes, but I think Everton's just got that additional quality up front, and without Jamie Vardy, I think Everton to win 2-1. I think Man United again, routine 3-0. I think Pogba's going to get on the score sheet again. He is playing really well recently. And for the big game, Spurs Liverpool, I have got 1-1. Maybe, I don't know, Typical scorers: Son, Kane, Salah. 1-1 for that one. And we're going to go to Romell. Romell, what is your prediction for Spurs Liverpool?
For Spurs Liverpool, I do think Spurs in good form. They're going to get a goal. Liverpool in bad form, but they've got enough quality to get a goal. I think it's going to be 1-1.
Alright everyone, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy it. Make sure to put on notifications, like, comment, subscribe. We're going to be doing a video on Chelsea, second Lampard over the next few days, so keep your eyes out for that. And make sure to go and check out our previous video on the team of the year. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you all next time.